Hello everyone, this is Mo. Today I'm gonna show you how to get that realistic screen look in After Effects without using any plugins, only using two overlays and some native effects in After Effects. First off, we make a new composition. We have two options here. If you wanna imitate the look of standard monitors, you can go with 1920 by 1080. But if you want your compositions to look like old CRT monitors, you can go with 1440 by 1080. And don't worry, I made you overlays that fit any of the two ratios. Okay, let's go with the first option, which is more common. Drop a screenshot or a video. I'm using a screen recording I did with OBS, but you can use whatever you want. First thing we can do is adding the pixel screen overlay, and don't worry, I'll tell you where to find it by the end of the video. You can scale it down to fit the composition, and then set the blending mode to darken. Then we can lower the opacity until it looks good. Okay, this is perfect. Then make an adjustment layer. We can add some effects that can help us get the look that we want. Let's start with the classic vignette. You can find it in Lumetri color. Set the amount to -4. Okay, I want to give the scene a greenish look because if you looked at all the monitors, you can see how they have that slight green tint. We can do that with the RGB curves. Go to the green one and drag it from the center up a little. Okay, perfect. Now we need our composition to look a little bit curvy. We can get that by adding the optic compensation effect to the adjustment layer and set the value to 30. Okay, this is good. You can see that our video doesn't fit the composition anymore. We can fix that by adding a transform and increasing the scale until it fits. Okay, what else we can add here? We can get the edges of the composition to look more blurry by adding a blur effect and then adding a mask to it. So let's make a new adjustment layer and then add a camera lens blur effect. I find a radius of 5 is fine, but you can go lower if you want. Then go to the ellipse tool and add your mask. Now we invert the mask to make it blur the outside, not the inside. Set the mask feather to 200. Okay, this is looking good. I'm happy with this look already, but you can add more effects if you want to, like a chromatic aberration for example, but I think it looks good already. And now for the final step. You know I'm leaving it for last to show you how this overlay can single-handedly give you that realistic screen look at the click of a button. Okay, enough yapping, let's add it. Scale it down to 50. Then we change the blending mode. Let's see how it looks with linear dodge. Okay, this is looking sick. By the way, you don't have to use linear dodge as a blending mode. Different ones can work with you as well. I think it depends on how bright your screenshot is. So let me show you an example with brighter footage. You can see if we're using the same settings, it doesn't look as good. So let's try a different blending mode this time. Let's see how it looks with darken. Then lower the opacity like we did before. Okay, this is looking much better. We can use a different overlay this time. Let's do the same, scale it down to 50, set blending mode to darken, and lower the opacity. Okay, this is very cool. By the way, if you want the reflections in the overlay to look more bright, you can add a brightness and contrast effect to the overlay and set the brightness to 50 or more. This is cool. Also, if you don't want the reflection to look clear, we can add a blur to it, like fast pixel blur, and set the value to whatever you want. This is how it looks with the blur, and this is how it looks without it. And that's pretty much it. You can see how easily it levels up how your edit looks and make it look very unique and different. I literally never seen anyone using this technique before, and this is why I felt like I have to make these overlays. Okay, now let me tell you where to find them. You can find my overlay pack on Gumroad or Payhab. I'll leave a link to them in the description. I wanted to make sure the price is very low so anyone can afford to buy them. After you download the file, you can find 2 folders. Each has 6 different overlays in different ratios. You can also find the pixel screen overlay that we used. I found it for free on Texture Labs. I'll also leave a link to it in the description. And finally, an After Effects project file where you can just drag and drop your footage. If you guys have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section. I'll try to stay as active as I can there, or you can DM me on Twitter and I'll help you. Thank you so much for watching.